Did you guys hear about this crack story? Y'all hear about this little crack story? I don't think too many streamers talked about it, but it is really interesting actually. It's another like right-wing false flag made up meme. I heard nothing of it. Yeah, it stayed in a lot of like right-wing memes, like a lot of right-wing circles. But yeah, it's really interesting actually. So, let's talk about this real quick. So you said not too many of you guys heard about Biden giving free crack. Biden, little did you know, if you kept up to date with the right-wing news cycle, you would have heard that Joseph R. Biden Jr. has been giving away free crack, okay, to black people in inner cities to fund racial equality. Yep, that's true. He's out here, he's pogging up. He's like, we need to give these black peoples crack cocaine and crack. He's giving them free crack pipes, so we can finally reach pure racial equality. All right, that's what's happening. If you didn't know, wild stuff, right? Truly a man of the people. Biden, 100% truly a man of the people, giving the people what they want. If you can just take a look at this, Biden administration funding crack pipe distribution, says it's needed for racial equality. An HHS spokesman told the Washington Free Beacon that safe smoking kits purchased under the program will provide free crack pipes for users to smoke crack cocaine, crystal meth, and other illicit substances, the outlet has reported, right? Would you look at this? Biden to fund crack pipe distribution to advance racial equality. $30 million is going to inner cities just so they can make sure that black people have all the crack pipes that they need. Would you look at this? This is also in the American News and the Post-Millennial. Biden to send crack pipes to drug addicts for racial equality report. Wild, right?
This meme is very real.
Biden, what are you doing? This is the America that Biden wants, to be able to send crack pipes to every black person. Just like they said, just like the war on poverty meant that every American was going to have a chicken in every pot. Biden makes sure that there's going to be crack in every pipe. All right, he's going to make sure of it. Our good friend Marco Rubio made a little thing about it as well.
The Biden administration is going to be sending crack pipes and meth pipes targeting minority communities in this country, underserved communities. I know that sounds insane. I know that sounds too crazy to be true. They confirmed it yesterday. They're going to...
Yep. Sounds insane. Sounds too crazy to be true. Weird how that works. Weird how that sounds, huh?
They call them smoking kits, and they say it's about equity, but they have in essence confirmed that they're going to be mailing and sending pipes that can be used to smoke crack and meth to underserved communities in America.
Wild how that's happening, right? Just like the Obama phone. Truly, Obama gave them Obama phones so they could call up their crack dealer, and Biden is giving them pipes to smoke their crack. Probably one of the saddest things. Another example of how racial equality, once again, is a lie and a farce. We're going to be hearing from Candace Owens talk about how racial equality is actually cringe, and how truly racial equality is being shittier to black people. But instead, these no good, darn dirty Democrats trying to keep them on the not only the Democratic plantation, but now in the crack lab, are now sending crack pipes to these people. How sad. Well, probably one of the saddest things I've ever heard. And even Marco Rubio is completely dumbfounded. He said that it's too wild to be true, because it is. It's a lie. Just like most things just like everything conservatives say, it's a lie. So what is happening? That's the question. So what Biden did was he talked about how he's going to be putting through an executive order setting aside $30 million around the country to set up safe injection sites. Yep, you're right. Literally just safe injection sites. And so what they did is they said that these safe injection sites that the cities would put up were going to we're going to be required to purchase things like safe injection kits to ensure that, to stop the spread of like communicable diseases, bloodborne illnesses, stuff like that. So it would bring down the diseases that drug addicts got when they were busy being addicted to drugs, right? Bare minimum, too much. Bare minimum research is too much for these people, 100%. Let's listen to Candace Owens talk a little bit about this, huh? How's this sound? We love Candy.
She joins us now. Candace, thanks so much for coming on. So, I mean, I guess they can tell you they love you, but if they're encouraging you to smoke more crack, maybe they're lying.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Biden administration loves Black America and loves America and cares about the health and well-being. All you have to do to be healthy in Joe Biden's America is stay at home, lock your doors, avoid sunlight, mask your children. When you step outside, let it only be to get 5 vaccines and maybe do a smash and grab crime. And then on your way back home, grab a government-sponsored crack pipe. I don't know why people think that Joe Biden doesn't care about the lives of the average Americans.
Candace is one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the face of the earth. I swear, dude. It's just every time she speaks, she gets more stupid. Is she okay? She's blinking a lot. Recently, she was just forced to take the crack from the Biden pipe. You know, government agents are going around to every Black person's house and forcing them to smoke the Biden crack. So that's what's happening, right? She's trying to keep it together after she was forced to dose off of the Biden crack. It's pretty unfortunate, pretty sad stuff, right? Yeah. So basically what they're trying to do is try to stop what their narrative is that Biden is sending crack pipes and encouraging people to smoke more crack. So because smoking more crack is equality. That's unironically what they saw happen, because the Department of Health said that when you set up these safe injection sites, which have been proven to reduce things like AIDS and in other like bloodborne diseases that drug addicts are more at risk of getting, that you can include lots of that there are things that get included in there. One of the things that could possibly be included was pipes. That's something that could possibly be in there. Same thing with like syringes, like how they offer free syringes, because if you're going to be using a syringe, they're not going to stop them from using a syringe, but what they will do is it'll stop you from using a syringe that you've dug out of the garbage can, and now you give yourself a disease and then you like die or something, right? Or you like give yourself a crazy disease and or you die, something like that. That's what they want to reduce, right? Also when they go there will be people and doctors there who will offer them a way out of doing drugs, offer them rehabilitation, not like try to capture them like you're what Candace and Tucker wants is like one of two things. Okay, this is what they want to deal with homeless people and drug addicts. They want the government to fund basically dog catchers to go out with like, you know, those long like slip collar poles. They want to go out and then they find some random homeless person doing heroin on the street, and then they just like grab them up like that, and they freaking wrangle them as they're just grab them and like throw them into like the back of a truck, and then keep them in a padded room where someone in like a big metal suit of armor sits there. And every time they start to scratch at one of their like crack or drug injuries, they like hit them with a dulled a long sword blade. And they just do that until they either die or stop craving crack. Either that, or basically fund people to go out just hunting them. They have like an elephant gun. They're on the back of trucks, and they just roll around until they find like someone doing crack, and they just fucking shoot them. All right. That's the world that Candace and Tucker wants, and that's actually the world that, the most dangerous game, but for like crackheads. That's the world that they want, and that's the only way that they can see us dealing with the problem of people taking drugs, basically. And nothing else is going to fix it. We just need to make sure that they're either dead or just throw them in jail. I don't know, maybe even death penalty. Who knows?
And Black Americans, it's so clear by the way he's running things that he actually cares. You know, it's pointedly ridiculous that this is going on, and it's sad to hear him explain how easy it is to get drugs, because we all know this is going on, and they're pretending that it's not. They're actually mocking us and pretending that we're being dramatic and discussing how horrible the lives have gotten for the average Americans, but especially those living in inner cities, as you touched on, a couple of weeks ago. And Jen Psaki saying, oh, it's not happening, it's just a Fox News conspiracy theory. Anybody that's telling you that we don't care about your health, they're conspiracy theorists. In fact, we're going to fact check them and deplatform them. But the bigger thing
it's so funny how they're so scared of fact. Like, this is the new boogeyman, you know? Candace Owens has her husband check under the bed just for fact. To wake up in the middle of the night, just sweating bullets. Honey, what's wrong? Speak. It's okay. I'm here for you. It's okay. Chill. Please drink water. She has like some water next to her. Shaking. Facts? No, honey. No, there's no facts here. I promise. I promise it's okay. He like gets up, he goes under the bed, he takes a picture with his phone with the flash on. He shows it. Look, honey, babe, please look. No facts. There are no facts here. Facts. No facts. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you. And then she just starts crying, and then she like very softly cries herself back to sleep. And that's what a night terror looks like to to Candace Owens. Just like, I swear, dude. They're hiding in the closet. I know, right? She's checking behind her. She never when she goes out to eat at restaurants, where she wants to make sure that all of the waitresses don't wear masks. Actually, she wants the waitress to specifically sneeze into her food before she puts it down on the table. She loves she goes to COVID cafes, you know. That's unironically, I can see that happening. Like in some place in goddamn Tennessee or Nebraska, there's gonna be the COVID cafe where the aesthetic is where the waitress comes to your table holding the food. Like before she gives it to you, she goes right, just right over all the food, and then starts, okay, so all right, so who ordered the lobster bisque? I swear to you, that's probably what's gonna happen sometime soon. Right, and so she never sits with her back to the door just in case just so she can make sure that no facts sneak in while she's not watching or anything. Listen to Alex Jones nighttime ASMR, yeah, just to make sure. Yeah, no, this is just stupid. It is stupid. You are a conspiracy theorist. It is stupid. What they want to do is try to make sure that people don't get safe. They just think that like people who are on drugs should basically be fucking dead. It's either we'll just make sure that they're either dead or something along those lines. They don't really care they never put any thought towards whether safe injection sites and safe smoking sites actually work. They're just really mad at the fact that we're not tackling the drug issue by fucking shooting drug addicts or throwing them in jail. That's the only possible way that they can imagine dealing with the drug issue, even though we've been doing that for 30 years and it's not helped the drug issue at all. And it's actually only gotten worse. It's wild how that works, huh? Just keep doing what we're doing, but do it worse this time. Yep. That'll fix it. Definitely. Here's Hannity, who went on as well to talk about this issue. I'll speed it up like a tiny bit and we can just hear like his dumbass takes real quick.
$30 million for lip balm. Here with reaction, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. You know, the original Free Beacon article, Senator, you know, I don't know, maybe I've been doing this job for way too long. 33 years in radio, 26 years here at Fox. But call me suspicious. I suspect that the crack pipe was included for meth and crack users, but the pushback maybe made them think twice. Your thoughts?
So what he's referring to is a statement by the HHS secretary that was released after Fox News started saying that they're going to be like forcing black people, every black person in every inner city will be forced to do crack once a day in Biden's new George Ornbachel's 1573 book about how bad it is when the government does stuff. It's just like that book. I've read the book. It's just like that book. And so they released this little article. They released this little statement after Fox News started lying about like the safe injection program. Today, on the heels of organizations applying for grant money for harm reduction efforts, Health and Human Services Secretary and the Offices of the National Drug Control Policy Director released a statement. HHS and ONDCP are focused on using our resources similar to reducing harm and saving lives. Accordingly, no federal funding will be used directly through or subsequent reimbursements of grantees to put pipes in safe smoking kits. The goal of harm reduction is to save lives. The administration is focused on a comprehensive strategy to stop the spread of drugs and curb addiction, including prioritize the use of proven harm reduction strategies like providing naloxone and fentanyl test strips and clean syringes, as well as taking decisive action to go after violent criminals who are trafficking illicit drugs like fentanyl and other stuff. Right? And so that's what they've been like all the time. Hey, Shark, can you talk about the consequences of what will happen if this didn't happen to people like me? What do you mean specifically? I just want to make sure I understand what you're talking about. Like, you couldn't type it until now? Yeah, I was about to say, like, what? Can I get over the fact how America is actually adopting some of Portugal's drug policies? Yeah, because they just work, right? It's I mean, finally we get like a president who's like even remotely left, and finally we start to get just proven policies done, or like pushed through. But even those are a struggle when we have like the right wing disinformation apparatus that's always on its best job to make sure that we take the worst, most destructive, most inhumane policy possible to make people's lives worse in an effort just to punish people instead of caring about getting things done. Progressive drug policy that could save lives. Well, the thing is with this type of policy, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. This type of policy is very important. It's been proven to work several times and over again in like different countries. Portugal is a great place because they decriminalize all drugs. What they did is selling drugs and these sorts of illicit drugs are still illegal, but the buying of them and using of them is no longer illegal. So basically what it does is it stops people who are the users and victims of drugs and drug addiction it's no longer a criminal offense to be addicted to drugs, right? Which is a great thing. They set up a bunch of safe injection sites and stuff like that, and they stopped prioritizing punishing people who do drugs and prioritizing getting them better. They saw things like communicable diseases and bloodborne diseases like AIDS plummet to record and historic lows. Other drugs that are passed off by doing things like spreading needles and spreading pipes like completely plummet. They've seen more homeless people be open to be able to go get help because now they have an easy way to be able to find help and build up a rapport with actual doctors, because doctors are staffing these safe injection sites. Doctors aren't giving them drugs, but doctors are overseeing when they give drugs to themselves to make sure when they do it, because they are going to be doing it, that they don't hurt themselves, and they offer them like a way out type thing. And more people have been taking that sort of stuff. And this is what happens. We don't take that approach here in the States. And guess what's happened? More people are doing drugs. More people are dying of drugs. Drugs have become a much bigger market. More people are scared to go to the police because now what happens is they've been seen as criminals, not victims, but they're seen as criminals for taking drugs, and it's made them not want to engage with the police, period, or doctors, period, because they don't want to be reported and they don't want to go talk to anybody, and so they still do the drugs and they still do these sorts of like dangerous acts, risky and risk-taking acts to go get drugs and do drugs. But the thing is, now they don't have anybody there to help them when they actually need it, and so they just die. The thing is, people like Candace Owens and people like Cornyn and people like Hannity and all these Republicans, they don't care if drug addicts die. They think people who are drug addicts are of low moral character. If you're homeless, if you do drugs, you're of low moral character, and so your life means less. And so the fact that you just die, well, that's your fault. Ever thought about not doing drugs, dumbass? And that's their approach to this. And that's why they see any sort of humanity extended towards these people as some sort of disgusting encouragement of their sort of behavior, to treat them as anything but like a disgusting plague rat who needs to be stomped out or thrown in a cage. Treating them as anything besides that is seen as like encouraging them and not wanting them to get help, and doing it for like racial equality and doing all this for racial equality and being like a bad parent who keeps giving their obese kid more candy because it makes them feel bad, right? Instead of teaching them good discipline, right? And that's the only thing that they really think. It's really sad and disgusting, but they don't really care about these people's lives. Don't ever think that they did for a moment. It's why they never care. It's why they don't care, and they still don't care about changing what we do to make sure that we stop the war on drugs and start actually taking care of people. They just think that if we just ramp up more and more and more and more and more and more punishment, that things are going to get better, but it obviously doesn't. Just lying? Yeah, literally just lying. That's just what they do. You shouldn't expect much from Republicans. They're bad people. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about what's real. They just what they want to do is do another like welfare queen crack addict. He loves black people. Look what happens when you say you love black people. You give them crack because you love them so much, right?
You spend $30 million. I don't know. I'm just doing simple math here. And all you're buying is lip balm and, let's see, alcohol wipes or whatever, clean wipes, whatever they're going to buy. $30 million would probably be a lifetime or decade supply for the entire country. So I don't believe them. Do you think, as I do, that they're lying?
What? So just so you know, he has no clue what's included in like a safe smoking and safe injection kit. He has no clue what goes on because they don't give a shit about being safe. They don't care. He actually thinks that he actually unironically thinks that Biden is spending $30 million and sending his aides out to the local Walgreens to buy all of the chapstick that they have and now just give it to inner city people. And they're like, we've fixed the drug problem. He's unironically that stupid. All right. My bad. I thought there was some more from that, just from Hannity. Anyways, Hannity goes on. He spoke another time about this, where he was talking specifically about how he thinks that this just doesn't work. Like he doesn't believe that like safe injection sites work. Here's the study. Supervised injection services, what's been demonstrated systemic literature review. And the results, 75 relevant articles were found. All studies converge to find that SIs, which is SIS, which is safe injection sites, were efficacious in attracting the most marginalized PWID, which are drug users, promoting safer injection conditions, enhancing access to primary health care, and reducing the overdose frequency. SIS were not found to increase drug injections, drug trafficking, or crime in the surrounding environments. SIS were found to be associated with reductions in levels of public drug injection and dropped syringes. Of the articles, 85% originated from Vancouver or Sydney. Wow. Wild. Conclusion, SIS were largely fulfilled their initial objectives without enhancing drug use or trafficking. Wow. But if you bring this to someone like lots of people who watch Fox News, and definitely everybody who's on Fox News, they don't really care about that. They never really did care. They never cared. It's not something that they care about. They don't care about reducing this. What they care about is punishing people as much as possible. For being of low moral fiber, low moral character. They just deserve to suffer and die. Because if they didn't, you shouldn't have gotten into that situation. And even when they say they like have care or have sympathy, it's not like a sympathy of, oh my gosh, you're like a victim of this, like of these things. It's more like, it's so sad that you're so stupid that you fucked up your own life like this. And now you're ruining the property value because you're homeless and doing drugs. That's what they really cared about. Right. And it's really unfortunate. So they had to drum up all of these lies and all of these controversies to make it to do another thing that they just do, which is not try to make this country better, not try to make this world better, just off of their fuel, just be fueled off of hatred and disdain for people who don't live like them and for people who suffer, and just say, hey, I mean, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, chief, and then demonize anything and everything that's been proven to actually work. Do they know what will work? No. Do they care what will work? No, they don't. They don't care to look into any of the studies or any of the research, because if they did, they wouldn't have this position. They never cared. They never looked into it. And none of the articles that they ever pull up, like, this has been proven not to work. It's like, don't you think it's so gross that they're giving syringes to these filthy, disgusting, ugly, stinky, ugly, disgusting, filthy, garbage, dingy people who make your property value worse and who are destroying the country? Man, sure, man, they really do care, huh? That's all they really cared about. Really unfortunate.